get a hint in just a little bit here when they start, because if Uncle walks out with a sword, then we know what it is.
Here we go. No sword, so definitely not a sword start.
Yep, there's one of the 7.
Just a red rupee to start this off.
I mean, you gotta find him eventually. Why not an easy one?
So, as we're watching this early sequence, we're going to see these two almost virtually in sync. The only things that'll be different between them is maybe little bits of RNG they get.
Yeah, potential, bomb drop if one gets it off of early. Looks like a quick map check there. I believe I saw a crystal 1 up on Hera, 5 over on Desert, and green pendant I thought I saw on Eastern.
And we get a hammer start for these guys.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best starts you can have. A weapon with no ammo, plus it's one of those steps towards getting into the Dark World without having to run Aga.
Exactly. Hammer's really nice because it also, it helps a little bit more avoid that Aga scenario because you need that hammer to access East Dark World. And, of course, these runners have more than enough experience with the hammer, so hitbox will not be an issue.
Not at all, and a little bit of farming being done for that bomb. Got a big 20 there on TGH's side.
Yeah, a bunch of big 20s so far, but no bombs yet. So, it's going to be interesting to see how much they farm. Some runners prefer to wait on their farming until they've checked these chests in case they get a bomb drop. Others will farm as they go. Sometimes they'll do a combo. I think we're seeing these guys do more of a combo, taking out the enemies that are directly in their path.
Yeah, just using a small amount of time to kill what's on the path, not going out of the way, anything like that.
Hey, there's a sword.
In case you weren't happy with the hammer.
Oh, and they both get full magic refills. Yeah, well, we'll see them both use the hammer on the guard here. It'll only take 2 hammer hits to take them out.
Yep, probably won't even see pot strats because that either does do the same damage as the hammer and tempered sword, but no need for it when you can just hammer it.
And a mushroom. Interesting.
Zelda wants you to go fetch her to rescue her, and then just gives you a fetch quest to begin with.
I'd be a little worried of Zelda having a mushroom in the cell with her.
That as well. Well, maybe that's why she's in the cell.
Yeah, I think Zelda... I hope she hasn't done anything wrong. Anyway, they both have Zelda, and they're both heading out of the escape sequence.
Yeah, and very good timing by both of them as well. It's going to be a sub 4 heading back upstairs.
And like I said, their TGH is a little behind, but I believe he did do the map check, and his RNG has been a little different. Now you're seeing Gem do a little more deliberate farming. There's only one more chest they can open before they get to that wall, so now they got to be a little bit more deliberate in trying to get those bombs.
Yeah, plenty of creatures in the sewers to kill, though, so hopefully we'll get that bomb.
Yeah, I found that the rodents in the cells, anyway, in the underground here, tend to drop bombs more. Don't know if that is just confirmation bias or if it's actually a part of the randomizer. Bunch of rupees, but no bombs.
Yeah, no bombs on the ropes there, so probably just gonna see some rats next. And there's a shield.
Oh, we have the vanilla starting items now. Alright, gonna go kill the key rat. Probably kill a couple other rats while they're in here. But neither of them are getting lucky on these drops. They've only got one more room to try to get that bomb.
Yep, this is the last room, so we'll see.
No luck. The enemy prize pools today are not kind. So they're going to have to come back here later to get those items.
Yeah, and right now especially, you know, they're probably both going to be thinking maybe if my opponent got a bomb. But at the same time, especially if they find something major there, like the gloves especially, because you're more than likely going to have to run through the sewers again just to get there.
And getting that map hurts a little too, because you know now there's 3 items down there.
Yeah, indeed.
So Jem does his map check, and they're both basically in sync. Let's see if they decide to do the lumberjack check or if they're going to go straight to Lost Woods. Looks like both are going straight to Lost Woods. Which is pretty common move for these runners at this level. A lot of them will just skip lumberjack.
Yeah, unless you have the boots, it's not really a big deal, because you're not worried about the item on Aga unless you have boots anyways.
Well, they have plenty of money to buy bombs now. They're still looking for some, though. And there's even more money.
Yep, not going to say no to 100 rupees.
Bomb upgrade, but no bombs. So, this presents an interesting situation going to Kakariko. Do you gamble? Oh, there's a bomb for TGH.
Well, of course, you know, the first kill that you have outside of the sewers, why not here, have a bomb?
Yeah, as I was going to say, coming into Kakariko without bombs is an interesting... They're saying bombs!
So a little bit more killing of the guards might have paid off there then, because they kind of skipped quite a few, but that's the way the rando goes.
To finish my thought, if you didn't have bombs, coming down here might be an interesting gamble. If you say that you're going to get a bomb down here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent chance you'll get a bomb in here, but, well, we got a flute.
That's a nice little starting item.
You know, another bomb upgrade, because why not?
Piece of heart in the back. So TGH is out of bombs, so we'll have to see what he decides to do.
Yep, looks like he's going to go buy bombs first, and we have a Master Sword on the bottle vendor.
TGH is going to activate his flute, as Jem is going to give us our look into the well. Some protection there. It's a single arrow on the back, and we've got a bottle, a red rupee, and another piece of heart. So the bottle at least lets us get the sick kid check out of the way.
Yep, won't be leaving anything behind in Kakariko now.
Just a piece of heart in the back of the tavern. Jem picks up his master sword as TGH goes to buy his bombs. We can get a look at the chicken hut quick. TGH hits a couple chickens. And gets bombs.
There's the bombs.
Yeah, it almost gets frustrating at this point when you start just seeing those bombs.
Yeah, just like, where were those about 5 minutes ago?
So, unfortunately, still, until they get a glove, they can't go back through escape, or into escape to get those items. Well, they could, but they have to go take the long route.
Yeah, they'd have to take the long route. It's not something you usually want to do in the sick kid trades a bottle to give you another bottle.
Bottle kid today. Yeah, it's definitely not something you want to do, but I mean, the worst thing the seed could do to them at this point, and let's hope it doesn't do this to them, is the first glove they were expected to get was back there.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. So usually it's not a huge deal if there's something major back there, except the glove, because if your opponent gets it, it's a bunch of time they have on you then. And Jim going to do a blind check on the race game.
It's not that much of a loss of time if this doesn't pay off, but it saves you a little if it does.
So question check, can both gloves be in the back of escape? In standard mode, yes, they can actually both be back there. On an open mode, they potentially still could be back there. You'd have to have the lamp though.
Jem's gonna turn in that mushroom right away. And TGH is doing the same. So we will not be seeing fake powder today, it looks like.
On TGH, we might see it on Gem.
Just 300 rupees for that.
Go ahead.
I'm starting the South short checks here. That's all I was really going to say.
Well, yeah, you know, seeing what the witches gave for that mushroom makes you think what Zelda really was doing with that mushroom.
Yeah, I think that's a rabbit hole we probably shouldn't go down. Okay, we got Gem going into the mini Moldworm cave here.
And making use of the sword beams from the Master Sword there to kill these mini Moldorms.
Oh, there we got a bow.
The D.
So these runners could now go to Eastern. Full clear that. It is pendant, but it is a green pendant. So that'd give you an extra item to check if you went there.
It would potentially, you know, the green pendant itself isn't within logic. We would need the lamp technically, but you know, both the runners at this point probably no problems with dark rooms. So
exactly. And yeah, Gem's gonna go straight over to the Eastern area, as TGH is gonna check the Ice Rod Cave.
yeah, which I mean, this makes the most sense because you're looking at, if you clear Eastern, which I'm sure they probably will, 7 total items between the 3 we're going to find in Eastern and the green pendant.
Yep. And of course the 3 on Saharsla here.
Yep.
The one thing is that they're only at 4 hearts at this point. They do have blue mail, so that helps. But that could be a little risky going in here. We already have a 3rd bottle. Man.
Yep. There's a B-Torp. And also 300 more rupees in the red meringue.
Say goodbye to your money problems in this scene. Now, Gem is going to be the first one into Eastern. TGH is going to go collect his loot. Answer the quick question in chat. The red boomerang is disliked because it causes extra lag due to the sparkles it shows when it's thrown. But a lot of these runners, I mean, the difference having the red boomerang early is a kind of a nice thing because it lets you stun enemies, and it can let you do some of your NMG strats if you want.
Yeah, which both our runners are practiced with NMG, so might see some of those strats come out later. So far, nothing really important in Eastern. We're going to see the next item here in just a second.
That's the normal map that would be there.
Yep, vanilla map chest.
So we've seen one of our items, and we've also seen the map. Got 4 more chests, or 4 more item locations to see here. Jim getting out the bow, prepping to do the... Oh, well, yeah, that's normal. It's kind of a normal route for that. Basically, he does a certain route to only get 2 of those to spawn, as he grabs his big key.
Yep, so we'll see if this next chest is the compass, or if we have 3 items that are lamp locked.
Okay, so everything else in here is lamp locked. But we're going to see these runners go for that anyway. As I was mentioning earlier, they have 4 hearts, so this is a little risky. Blue mail helps, but... I mean, for runners of their caliber, this should be fine. But if anything goes wrong, they could put themselves at risk pretty quick. Especially considering that there's a damage boost section coming up here.
Yeah, the major dangerous parts of doing this whole dungeon in the dark room are pretty much the damage boost here, which isn't in a dark room. Just behind the dark room, and then the Igor in the dark room. You have to kind of find him and put an arrow into him.
So just a red rupee from that first chest. They're both going to head to Armos after that.
Yep, and we'll see how Gem fares in this dark room.
He's found the Igor. Oh, got both of them out of the way. Should be fine. And he got a fairy for it as well.
Yep, health refill. That room was nice and clean and quick.
If you keep it on script like that, that room is fine. If it gets off script, then it gets a bit troubling. Jem missed his second arrow there. Is going to have to wait for the Igor to wake back up. We're seeing just some nice NMG strats from these runners at this point, taking care of these rooms. And we're going to probably watch an 18 arrow Armos kill right now.
And we'll see if we get the quick kill.
Oh, I jinxed him. I'm sorry. There's a fire rod.
Fire rod, okay. Well, more than likely going to need that.
And that likely eliminates the need for the lamp for them, since they have a fire source now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice find, but it still doesn't actually unlock anything for us within logic, so we're kind of running out of spots. We've got Magina's Cave, we've got the green pendant here, but technically not within logic. Got the sewers still. There's the magic cape.
Yeah, and that magic cape almost starts to make you wonder, how is our Dark World access coming?
Yeah, still missing Moon Pearl, still missing a glove upgrade.
The Gem's gonna take Ice Rod Cave. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's like we're actually, you know, still would need a lamp technically for Ega as well, so can't even do Ega.
And I think we're going to have a situation where these runners are going to have to go back through escape to get back to that room.
I honestly think that's going to be the next play, because I believe that's all or I guess we do have Death Mountain. We have Spectacle, what's inside Spectacle Rock, that's it. But there still is an item there.
We have what's inside Spectacle Rock. They'll check the old man, which I think TGH is doing right now.
Yeah, just I was just kind of going, what's required on their logic right now, so. But yeah, we'll get the old man here and get an extra item.
I think Jim is going for Agana.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, if these checks don't yield anything, I think they're gonna have the next move they're gonna make is they're gonna go back through escape, and they're both gonna be feeling like they're behind because of it.
Yeah, definitely. Nope. Old man just has 20 bucks.
Just a piece of heart there, so I think Agana's the last thing we've got. Not Agana, sorry. Spectacle Rock's the last thing we've got. Zora's not in logic yet, though they could do the fake flipper checks if they wanted to.
Yeah, which would really only be Zora himself. Zora and Hobo they could do. Because they don't have a Moon Pearl yet.
That's true. Oh.
Well, speaking of Moon Pearl, though.
Well, it helps us get to the Dark World, but that's not progression. Well, it means progression, but it's not going to open up anything new.
Nope, not yet, because we would need a lift upgrade, and technically, actually no, we would still need an immunity item, so we need the lamp. I was gonna say Spike Cave is pretty close, but yeah, so something's got to be an escape then.
And I'm going to see TGH go for it. No, he's pulling out the flute. I think he might go for flipper checks.
He hasn't checked Agana's cave, so he might do that first as well.
Oh, you're right. No, he went to 8. I think he's going to do fake flippers.
Or he's... Yeah, he is. Looks like... Nope, he fluted again.
Okay, he's going to do Agana first, then do fake flippers, maybe.
Yeah, which this makes the most sense, because it's like, yes, you can go get, 4 potential items, but as far as what you're kind of following within logic, at this point, it's a 25% chance, I believe, that something has to be here.
Yeah, definitely. Following the logic, that... I mean, at this point, after you've checked everything else that's in logic, escape's got something. The only way the reason that you might do the flipper checks is you might find a glove, which would save you from having to do the walk through escape. But yeah, at this point, Gem is definitely heading back to escape. Or nope, never mind.
Nope, I think he'll do the flippers now. TGH, on the other hand, is gonna head to escape.
I'd love to interview these guys and see how they're feeling about this seed afterwards, but unfortunately, since we have Game 2 right away, we won't get to hear from them until after Game 2.
Yeah, so we know what TGH is doing. Ooh. There's some silvers.
So, yeah, they'll probably go pick those up, assuming they find the mirror, which hopefully they will.
Yeah, don't know just yet if mirror is required to complete this seed. We'll find out when we head to the Dark World.
I mean, they both can do silverless, but silvers are still enough of a time savings. You're going to grab them. Gem gets bombed from the hobo. He's going to head up to the Zora area now. While TGH is making that walk through here. Now, if all they find back here is the lamp, that means we've got to go to Aghanim.
Yeah, and I think we're either going to find a lamp or gloves back here at this point. If it's the lamp, I would see TGH doing fake flipper himself to try to find, mitts. Or not mitts, but just gloves to avoid Aga.
Yeah. Well, here we go. This is like the first time in this seed I've seen people have to take that route to come back here.
Flippers, though. And the lamp. And TGH. And there's the gloves. So TGH showing his disappointment at those chests back there. And that actually, the fake flipper, I'm sure TGH is probably about to do this fake flipper himself. He won't be fake flippering. But that's a big find for Gem, because he might not go to the escape now.
I'm sure he still will, because, he can get back there easily now, but that definitely cost TGH a minute or so.
Yeah, this was probably like the idea behind the fake flipper is, and Bombos.
I mean, at this point, Gem would know that by getting the glove back there, chances are flippers were back in the back of escape.
Yeah, this is true. He knows that. He still knows that there's something in escape at this point. So we'll see if he checks it. Yep, he's gonna go check it right away to find out what it is.
So Jem's gamble pays off. TGH is still going to get those same items. It only costs, like I said, only costs him a minute or so, but it's still really frustrating.
Eastern X, more than likely he won't go to Eastern. They both have clear Eastern Palace at this point.
So that's Dark World access that avoids that scary potential of Aghanim completely, at least for now.
Yeah, it got teased there in the escapes, like here's some flippers and here's a lamp, but you don't have gloves yet, so you might have to, but no. And get ready, because we're probably going to get a nice quick map check here from Gem going into the Dark World, so we know what we need to complete this seed. Yep,
So I see
it is.
Pendant at Skullwoods, pendant at Mire, and our other red crystals at Thieves Town.
Yep, so Fire Rod was definitely needed from Eastern Palace.
Alright, we're getting our first check of Hype Cave.
Starts out with 5 rupees. Quake.
So it saw the Quake.
It was boots, 10 arrows, and card container.
Okay, having those boots early is... well, this isn't really early at this point, but having those boots somewhat early is nice, just because I've seen a lot of seeds lately with that have given you late boots.
Yeah, or no boots, and chat kind of giving boots only 6 of 10 in the hype?
Man, I think
This is a speed race. Boots are 10 out of 10 all the time.
that chat's savage. So, coming into Dark World at this point, you can full clear Pod. What else? You can full clear Thieves Town. You can also still go back. Well, actually, no, we don't have Hera access yet.
Nope, not yet. Let's see. Dungeons. Skullwoods is completable, even though it's pendant. Thieves Town.
Yep, Skullwoods would be completable. Mire still need to find the Titan's Mitts and potentially a medallion. But Gem's gonna go make the pod play, which is a nice play. 5 items and you can full clear. And it's fully in logic now.
Yeah, not only that, this is one of those dungeons that it's not terribly faster in go mode, so it's one of those dungeons if you can, especially if you can full clear it this early, you might as well jump in.
And TGH is gonna make the same play. Now the only thing that's kind of bad here is that you don't have the mirror, so routing this is a bit tougher, but it's still a dungeon you can full clear.
Yep. So question in chat with Ice Palace, is Ice fully clearable? With Mitts, potentially it could be. Depends on key placement whether or not they need the hookshot for logic. But if I believe if it's not hookshot logic, they need Canis Samaria then though.
Yeah, Canis Samaria could also come into logic. Now, once they get the Mitts, both of them know the glitches well enough that they can easily full clear Ice, but I mean, we're still waiting for those Mitts before then.
Yep, we'll have to wait for the Mitts and we'll see.
Alright, so we're going into the back of Escape here. A little off on his arrows from Gem. There he goes.
Yep, down go the mimics.
We'll probably get keys over here. Yep, 2 keys, 1 small, 1 big.
Yeah, the nice thing about having the boots and coming this way is you can bonk across and go back to these 3 chests now. And, you know, with it being Palace of Darkness, we're going to see a bunch of bunch of keys.
Jim forgot to hit the switch. So, nope, Jim's not gonna bomb jump here. Yeah, Palace of Darkness usually has a bunch of keys in the front just because it has to place keys in the front for logic to work.
Yeah, you could easily key lock yourself.
And we've probably seen about all the keys at this point.
Yes, we have. They got all the items from the front, then yes.
There might be one key sitting in the big key vanilla location, but they don't need to go back to that necessarily.
Yeah, and Gem looks like he's gonna go back this way. Maybe he's gonna... I don't see why, but maybe we'll see the hammer yell.
Looks like we will. Just a map, but we got a couple more chests back here. Just a 20, one more chest. I don't know if something is on Helmusar. I don't know if they've gotten the map and compass yet. Well, they got the map. I don't know if they got the compass.
I'm not sure on the compass.
We'll have to see next time Jem uses his menu. It should be in a minute here. He'll probably pull out something so he can hit the switch coming up.
Yeah, probably. Oh, compass was first chest, according to chat, so...
Oh yeah, okay, then Helmusar has something. So, kind of answer chat's questions. Yes, TGH stream is currently having some issues. He is working on fixing them. So until then, we'll just watch Jem as we go, and once he's back up, we will catch up with where he is.
Yep, and we'll do everything we can to, you know, get the tracker working to where it's accurate, because who knows what he'll be picking up in the meantime, but we'll do our best.
So we're heading through the... So Jim's heading to the back here, gonna head to Helmusar. Pretty much a standard play at this point. Pretty standard, actually. You got 7 hearts and Master Sword. The only thing really more advanced you have here than you'd usually have is the blue mail.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, so should be a nice simple fight for Gem here.
So we're seeing Jem use his sword as kind of a buffer to keep himself faced forward and get a little extra distance on his hammer.
Yep, nobody likes the hammer hitbox.
A very nice phase 1 for Jem on this. Now he needs 4 hammer hits or 8 Master Sword swings. And down goes Helmusar.
Yep, down he goes. Let's see what he has.
A tempered sword.
Well, you're not going to complain about that.
Absolutely not. Yeah. So once they find the Mire, they'll get the silvers and they'll have their nice set of Ganon tech for the seed. Yeah, and actually, I think beyond Tempered Sword, there wasn't really much in Pod, was there?
No, I believe that was really the major thing there, so.
And I see kind of chat saying they don't need silvers. Well, technically you don't, but knowing where they are, knowing how fast it is likely going to be to pick them up, since you got to go to swamp anyway, they're likely going to grapple. Because the time taken to grab the silvers is going to save them more than they would do with a silverless, have to use with the silverless Ganon.
Yeah, and, you know, especially like if they have the mirror when they're heading to Ice Palace, especially if they're leaving Swamp going to Ice Palace, there's no reason not to. Just, it's on the way, you know, what, 15 seconds? Definitely saves that time.
I didn't quite see what was up there, but it looked like an item with a number, so I'm guessing they don't need it.
It looked like an upgrade to me, so yeah. Nothing they needed, so Ega now officially dead.
Yeah, we're gonna see Jim now dip into Thieves Town most likely. See if he elects to try Skullwoods as well. Like I said, he does have the means to full clear it, but it is a pendant.
Not sure if Ped's dead or not. Probably, well, no, because technically the Ice Rod could be there.
Yeah, I think it's a little too early. I don't think we it's usually I don't like to look at Ped stuff until we see the runners have the ability to full clear all of their pendant dungeons.
Yeah, which, I mean, realistically, to do that, we're only missing Canis Samaria, though.
Well, plus Titan's Myths.
Oh yeah, and Titan's Myths.
So here we go. Gem is heading into Thieves Town.
Yep, fully clearable and one of the 5-6 crystals.
Now with Desert, the other 5-6 crystal, the Pyramid Fair could come into play, but we still need either the book or the mirror and gloves before that's possible.
Yep. When we can get there, though, it is fully clearable because we've got boots already.
So Gem's making his way through Thieves Town. 4 items total in here. There's some half magic that'll help.
Yep, not going to complain.
The Thieves Town is usually a pretty early play, and actually, funny enough, they're basically doing these dungeons in the order you do them in NMG. You would do Pod first in the Dark World, then you go to Thieves Town. Only difference being that Gem got his Tempered Sword before Thieves Town.
Yeah.
But of course, Tempered Sword doesn't make that much of a difference in Thieves Town, especially on Blind, because Blind takes 9 hits regardless of weapon you use.
Yeah, regardless of the power of your weapon, it is 9 strikes, so...
Of course, Temper takes out those grasshoppers nice and easy. Those grasshoppers are probably one of the more annoying enemies in the game. They do 2 hearts of damage when you have green mail, and their running patterns are just enough that it really gives you trouble.
Yeah, and the fact that then when they're going from a stop, they can, I believe they can just go in a random direction, so you have to be careful when they're stopped.
So we have Gem going downstairs. See what he gets down here as he picks up lines from herself. There's the map. I think we're still looking for items, so he's gonna go check the big chest.
Yep, because we found the compass already. So I believe there's 2 items left here. We're gonna find one in the big chest, and the other one will be on blind.
One item left. So far, these checks aren't really paying off. Like, unless blind has something, we're gonna go through Pod and Thieves Town. We're gonna get a couple of nice upgrades, but not really much for progression. It looks like. Though I could have just spoken too soon, and blind's gonna drop some progression now.
I mean, one of the bosses had some nice. Actually, both of the bosses have actually dropped major items technically. So we'll see.
Blind is down. Jim didn't even take a hit.
Yep, clean, but just a big 20. So yeah, nothing important in Thieves Town.
So that Skull of Woods play actually is looking a little nicer now. Just because you don't really have a lot else you can do.
Yeah, Skull Woods. That's other than doing some overworld checks, that's about it.
We're gonna see. I guess Jim didn't finish his checks. Oh, okay, there we go.
There we go. Hookshot. Why not?
Okay, that gives you access to another crystal dungeon in Hera, plus a bunch of items on Death Mountain.
Yeah, that'd be a total of 10 items, I believe, up there that we can get to now.
Something about that, yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 in Hera, Spiral Cave, and 7 in Paradox.
And just a big 20 in the Bumper Cave.
So green pendant not paying out, but still needed to kill Armos for that fire rod.
Yeah, absolutely. The fire rod was 100% required, so clearing Eastern was definitely a time well spent. Saw Jim use some hook speed there. Basically a little glitch that allows you to get boot speed when you're not dashing. What you're seeing a lot of these runners do are these minor glitches that if you're playing the randomizer, these minor glitches are good to learn as you go.
Yeah, they're little bits of time saves here and there as you get used to them.
Just 2 big 20s in the start of Spiral Cave. Got 5 chests back here. Yeah, definitely, it's good to learn some of these minor glitches if you're going to play the randomizer a lot. Don't feel pressured to learn all of them at once, as we see a shuffle into King of Samaria. But yeah, it's good techniques to pick up.
Yeah, definitely. And chat getting a little bit closer. We are now Titan's Myths away from Pedestal being within logic. Just $50 there on the floating island.
We'll see the runners go for that.
But nothing big in Spiral Cave. We're going to head back up the mountain, go towards Tower of Hera, where we've got one of our crystals.
Yep. So, let's see what's in Hera. Yeah, I'll just kind of address some things with chat, with TGH's stream. He's still working on it. Just to make sure everyone is aware of this, of course, he could still be racing in the background, and as long as he's local recording, he's fine in terms of the race. So we'll see that later. But we will continue to work on it in the background, and once it's back up, you'll see it back on the stream.
Item number 1 of Hera, just a big 20.
Get a big key with only one item left to find. So hopefully they can avoid the basement.
Yeah, that one room nobody wants to do, but if you're forced to do it and something's down there, you don't feel so bad because you know your opponent's going to have to as well.
Of course, Gem, as he's climbing, is probably hoping that we don't see anything down here, or he gets the second item up here.
Hookshot was in Sea House.
So picking up the map and compass, it's a 50-50 shot that they're going to have to go to the basement. Moldorm will either have a key or the second item.
Yeah, will Trolldorm have the last laugh? Down goes Trolldorm. No trolling. Maybe. Nope.
And we gotta go to the basement.
Trolldorm's gonna get the last laugh and trolls you anyways. Here's a key.
It is crystal though, so that's his third crystal. Answer a quick question in chat. Yes, actually, that key can be locked in the basements. I believe it was a recent version, might have been even version 29. Changed the logic on some key placements so that keys that only lock one item can basically lock themselves.
Yeah, I want to say it was 28 that did that, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's a small change to the logic, but it helps with it a little bit. I think the other places this comes into play is Hera, Pod, and Thieves Town. I feel like there's one other that come into play.
Technically Swamp Palace, it comes into play because the big key can just lock itself, as well as I believe Skull Woods.
Yeah, you'd be right. Yeah, Swamp Palace and Skull Woods can also lock the big key in the chest because you don't need the big key to finish the dungeon. And I don't think Gem failed the coffee break there. I think he's setting up for Death Warp as he gets Titan's Mitt, so that's absolutely required.
Yep, Para Basement totally required, and even better for chat, your pet is unlocked now.
Of course, Gem's going to check the rest of Death Mountain first, because now he's got access to an extra 6 items, and can also find out if he's got the medallion for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, actually, well, access to additional 6 items, yes, but there is another item he has access to. We'll see if he checks it. Spike Cave.
And he could technically go in Turtle Rock if he has a medallion for it. And he does.
Yep, Quake.
Now, it's a bit of a risky play because you don't have Ice Rod yet. But you could technically go in and get a bunch of items from there, too.
Yeah, I mean, Ice Rod could even be in there, but correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't Quake in Hype Cave as well?
It was, yes. Still giving chat some hard times for that 6 of 10 they gave Hype Cave.
Well, they better upgrade it now, because that was totally needed then.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was a premature 6 of 10 there from chat. Looks like Hookshot Cave didn't really yield much.
Nope, nothing there.
And we got 5-arrow upgrade and some rupees in there. So not much on Dark Death Mountain. we'll still have potentially.
Yeah, I think I'll check for that. Because the Turtle Rock play this early, it's like, yeah, you're only missing Ice Rod, but that would be quite the gamble to go in there hoping you're going to find the Ice Rod.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think you have other dungeons you could potentially clear at this point. Well, yeah,
I mean,
minimum Ice Palace you could do.
well, actually, every dungeon is now completable except Desert, Swamp, and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, which is three of our crystal dungeons. I mean, Ice is technically not fully in logic. Well,
Yeah.
actually, no, you're right. Never mind. What am I saying? Yeah, Ice is fully in logic. But Jem's gonna check Mire first, or check the Mire area at least.
Yeah, I guess potentially Mire might not be completable. We have to see if it's Ether.
It is Ether, so we need Ether before that can come into play.
Sorry, chat. I need one more item for Ped now.
But there's chat's favorite item, the bug net.
Lovingly known as the Swag Net.
So let's see where Gem decides to go now.
Ice Palace, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like Gem is headed for Ice. Now, when we see Gem use a flute there, that was kind of intentional because he's going to set up a small glitch as he's going into Ice Palace. So, this is part of the new tech that was discovered for Mire. It also has a little application in Ice. I don't know the exact nature of it, but by fluting as he went through that portal, he basically set up a state so that when he fired that fire rod, he could hit the I never remember their names. The ice creature. He could hit it before it basically came out of the wall. The Freezor. He could hit it before it came out of the wall. And there's our ice rod.
It's a good thing you didn't dip Turtle Rock.
And now Turtle Rock is fully clearable, and unless you find something else in here, that's probably your next stop.
Yeah, and also, right now, technically, we would be Mire from Gomo, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
I think you're right, yeah. Because with Mire, we can have access to desert and access to the swamp.
We're going to get the Ice Palace bomb jump. Nice quick setup and gets it on first try.
So he's gonna take a little different route here. Some of these runners, I've seen different routing through this, and some of it, I guess it's really your preference on how you want to route this one.
Yeah, throughout this dungeon.
Alright, so we're going upstairs. What we got up here?
Yeah. If you're Gem, or TGH if he's in a similar situation, you're hoping not to see Ether and you just want to find a Mire at this point.
you don't want to see Ether. You want Ether locked in GT. Just get the old mode and speed up. Movement through that room. Take up these 2 freeze ores. There's our second item. And is Jim gonna go straight for... Yeah, he's going straight for Cold Stare. I don't think he checked that. Did he check the iced tea room?
No, he did not, so... Oh, never mind. Chat's saying that was the third item, so...
Oh, okay. And that makes sense. You sometimes just forget those small items, like the big 20s, to count them in the item pool. Very nice Cold Stare setup for Gem. Yeah, Ice Palace did not yield our Mire, but did yield the Ice Rod, so... Turtle Rock next?
Yeah, definitely, but very nice Cold Stare fight. And I actually expect to see him go to Turtle Rock now. Maybe not. I'm gonna check some boots locked locations, it looks like.
Yeah, he already checked Bonk Rock, so he hasn't checked King's Tomb yet.
But yeah, it just seems Gem's kind of trying to avoid pendant dungeons as much as possible right now, so...
Which, I mean, in V29, it's been an interesting call. I mean, as usual, you want to clear crystal dungeons that you can clear right away. But eventually, you have to do... If you're still looking for stuff, you have to decide, do you want to do more overworld, or do you want to check your pendant dungeons? Or in some cases, do you want to go partial clear crystal dungeon?
That as well.
Now, these runners haven't been faced with the dilemma of potentially checking a partial crystal dungeon, as far as we know. We don't know what TGH has been up to on his side. But, yeah, that's always generally a tough call when you have to make those decisions. But anyway, we're going to see Jim go into Turtle Rock now. It's just looking for that Mire to finish up, to hit go mode. And of course, the nice thing being here that you don't like going in here without the Mire because you'd have to skip Mimic Cave, but since Mire's your go mode, Mimic Cave has nothing you need anyway.
Yep, definitely. And just, update people that everybody that's coming in, anybody that's new, we did just get an update from our restreamer. Looks like TGH does have a stream back up, but it's going to be about 15 minutes before we're able to see it. So...
Yeah, just hang in there. Once he's back up, we'll look through his stuff and we'll get everybody caught up on where he's at.
But Gem going through the fire rod room.
And also, just kind of go talk to chat. They also mentioned maybe they don't go for silvers now. I still expect them to both grab silvers since they have to go to Swamp.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Oh, there's Ether.
There's Ether, though, so...
So that puts Mire in Logic.
Yep,
So
Mire in Logic, and Ped is now Logic as well.
So if you're a Gem, you are hoping that you find that Mire in here.
Yes, I guess the question is, because, there's not a whole lot of overworld that he can actually check at this point. Smith's Chain, I think he can do.
Yep, you can do the Smith's Chain. You can do the hammer pegs, which I don't think we've seen them do.
Yep.
We
Shovel.
Yeah, we have not seen shovel. So they have some Overwood stuff, and then you've got 2 items in Skullwoods. You've got 2 items in Mire.
I wonder, do you check Skull Woods first, or you go check Mire first?
I might do Skullwoods just because it's a quick dungeon. You can get through that one pretty quick.
Yeah, I guess the only reason I would go to Mire over Skull Woods is if I'm running out of locations and I'm thinking pedestal.
Yeah.
Then run Mire. If you don't find it in Mire, you have the pendant. And Skull Woods, you either find it there or you get the pendant and just are right there to pull.
Well,
or you have to go back to the light world, but
yeah, you have to go back to the light world. The reason I would do Skullwoods first is, like I said, it's a quicker check. Yeah, Mire could take a while to get through.
yeah, and I know Chad's just saying it could be the mirror, but there is one thing that the mirror could not be on the pedestal, but it's still a pedestal required seat. If the book is there, and that's our access to Desert Palace, and the mirror is hiding inside Desert Palace.
I mean, if you want to go down this rabbit hole, I guess, too, there's also the possibility of powder.
I mean, yeah, but that's not as fun as finding the book.
I guess that's true. But as of right now, I think our runners are just hoping to find that mirror in Turtle Rock.
Oh yeah, of course, they want to find the mirror now. They're just like, I want to be in go mode. I don't want to touch these pendant dungeons.
So, Jim's heading towards the laser bridge next.
Unfortunately, getting the key means he could have skipped laser bridge if this was go mode, but we're still looking, so gotta see laser bridge.
Alright. So we're coming up on that laser bridge. You're gonna see some nice laser skips coming here. It might take the safety. I mean, they're actually still relatively low health, or at least Gems are relatively low health at 9 hearts. And there's our mirror.
There's go mode.
Yep, he knows he's in go mode. He's heading straight to Trinex. After this, it's basically swamp, then desert swamp, and then you're done.
Yep, go mode swamp, go mode desert, which, you know, depending on the big key placements, not going to take too much time.
Now, of course, we still don't know where TGH is in his seed. He could have already hit go mode himself. We won't know until we actually get it back up.
Yeah, which according to our restreamer, Sinek, we're about 7 minutes away from that, so it should be soon. But in the meantime, though, Gem is almost done with Trinex. Takes 2 of the next down.
And that's Trinex. He'll grab his 5th crystal. So basically, just choose the order you want to do desert and swamp at this point.
Yeah, and we'll see what order they decide to go in. I mean, I would say desert first. Especially if you plan on grabbing silvers.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But nope, Gem's gonna go do swamp first. I guess else you can still grab silvers after this if you want. You just go to the island, grab them, and then you can flute to 6 and go right in the desert.
That is true.
I still expect the runners to grab them because they know where they are, and it's a really quick area to get to.
Yeah,
And you're gonna save.
Or go ahead.
You're gonna save more time by grabbing silvers than you are by skipping them.
Yeah, I think by going there you'll save enough time to warrant going and grabbing them after swamp.
Not to mention that silvers save you time actually going up the tower, not just in the Ganon fight.
Yep, that as well.
So we're gonna see a go mode swamp from Gem here. This will be pretty quick. Doesn't have to check any chests. So you can go straight to the back. Just has to stop to grab some keys. That's about it. So.
Yeah, because with Tempered Sword, they know where silvers are, everything like that. They're fine with their equipment. I'm making quick work of Swamp Palace. Got a few more rooms to go before we get back to Argus.
Grabs his key. Head straight to the back now. To answer chat, yes, we are still planning on having a game 2 after this. Okay, we've hit this point now, so we're going to explain what's going on. Over in the race chats, as TGH was fixing his issues, Gem agreed to pause temporarily to allow TGH to get back online. So that's what we're seeing right now. There's going to be paused for a few minutes as TGH finishes getting his stuff back online. Fortunately, I've closed the race chat since then because we're trying to avoid the spoilers of who wins the race. But I did see that part of them talking in chat. So, yes, this is Gem being a good guy, pausing until TGH is back up.
Yep.
Just to answer chat, if anybody's curious, this is totally a good guy move. Gem, it was under no obligation to stop at all. He could have kept playing. He could have just kept going, finished the seed. There's basically, if your stream goes down during a race, it's kind of your own thing. There's no safeties in place, essentially because just because of how people could abuse it. But yeah, this is totally just a good guy move by Gem, who agreed to stop to let TGH get everything back online.
Yeah, and this is one of those reasons why you hear a lot of people say that this is one of the best communities they've been a part of, if not the best community, and this is why it's tournament, especially, we're at the top 16 where people would think, hey, if I can get an advantage, why not? But this is all for fun, and everybody just wants to have a great time, and that's how it is, sportsmanship.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're going to see this for about another 3 to 4 minutes, and then once TGH is back up and going, Gem will continue as well.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. In chat, TGH is back online, but we are still waiting for his delay to catch up before he'll show again. So, let's just go through the seed quick. I mean, it's been an interesting one. We started with Hammer, got a sword and escape. Both runners ended up, both runners were basically searching the seed for the longest time. They had to skip the back of escape because they didn't get bombs in the escape. It eventually, in the light world, actually came down to an interesting decision. Gem decided to fake flipper. TGH went back through escape, and TGH found the lamp and the flippers in the back, while Gem found the power glove through his fake flippers. So that gave him a little bit of an advantage early. Since then, though, I mean, Seed didn't yield a lot. And they went to pod, or Gem went to Pod. It didn't really have anything. Got a temper sword out of it. Went to Thieves Town. It had half magic, but not much else. So he did eventually find the hookshot afterwards. We then went up to Death Mountain, killed Moldorm, who gave us a key to get the Titan's mitts. And that allowed Gem to go to Ice to find his Ice Rod, then to Turtle Rock to get his Mire and finish the seed.
Yeah, it's really, kind of been a linear seed at this point. So, since going to Dark World.
Yeah, the seed never really opened up for them. Their choices were always pretty limited as they went. So in some ways that's good because it means there's less random chance to the seed, but at the same time it can be bad because if you mess up, there's less of a chance for you to catch up. So kind of looking back at our brackets here, as we're still waiting for them to catch up on the streams here. See, TGH's path to this point in the bracket, he started by taking out Giselle's Shaft in round 1, which was TGH had a really rough path so far. He had to go through Giselle's Shaft, then Almagus, Gamer Cal to get to here. Gem went through Bentizi, Checks Human, and Problems IRL, which is also another rough set of there. Oh, we got TGH's stream back up. We can see what he's got. He's basically got the same stuff as Gem. It looks like he's just coming out of Swamp Palace.
Yeah, and one difference, and I don't know what crystals those would be.
He's finished. I'm thinking he's finished Desert, but he hasn't done finished Turtle Rock.
I guess potentially if he would have dove Turtle Rock and looking for the Ice Rod. Without it, that could be it then.
He's got Gold Sword he picked up at some point too.
Yeah, he does have the butter.
He has not picked up Silvers though, we can tell that much. But he's definitely in Go mode at this point.
Yeah, he's also in Go mode, so we'll have to see what dungeon, like you said, it would have had to have been Desert then. So potentially Turtle Rock, I guess. No, he would have cleared Ice Palace when he went.
Well,
there.
He had 2 red crystals, so he had to have been in Desert.
Oh, that's right. So, wonder what the other dungeon is that he hasn't cleared.
I'm guessing Turtle Rock at this point. I don't think there's any other dungeon it could be.
Yeah, which means he's not gonna. I mean, Gem will probably be a little bit ahead going into Ganon's Tower, but going into Turtle Rock, when you've already cleared it, it is a little time consuming, but it doesn't take as much time as you would think.
Yeah, especially since they both have to reclimb the mountain anyway. So we could have potentially a race to the finish here. This could still go either way.
Yeah, Ganon's Tower, gamble for the big key, left side, right side, anything like that.
But Gem is through Swamp, and yeah, he's gonna go pick up his Silvers right now. And this is another interesting thing, though, just chat pointed out. Their health is relatively low. They do have Blue Mail, but they're only... I mean, Gem's at 10 hearts, TGH is at 8.
Yeah, very low health count.
There's the Silvers for Gem, and he'll head over to Desert now. TGH with the Gold Sword has an interesting potential for a quick kill on Argus. He might be able to zero cycle. Didn't quite get the 0 cycle set up, but he's going to still 1 cycle it. So, I mean, based on where they are, I expect Gem to get to GT first, but I don't think TGH will be much far behind him at all.
Yeah, maybe a few minutes difference, if that.
It looks like this was not a fast clear desert anyway, so Gem's not going to save much time here. Oh, TGH is not going to go for silvers.
I mean, maybe thinking he's behind, potentially, and he needs to try to save some time a little bit, or thinks maybe potentially he's ahead as well. Because if he would have went into Turtle Rock right after grabbing the Titan's Mitts and everything you had up there, it wouldn't have necessarily been a bad play.
It's also possible, I don't know if TGH actually checked the islands. Maybe he doesn't know silvers are there.
That's true as well.
I think that might be more of his thing, because I think even TGH would realize that having those silvers would be more of a time savings than skipping them. So he might just not know they're there.
Yeah, this is true.
But we're going to see Gem now. He's finishing up Desert. This should be a pretty quick kill. Land Molus coming up here. Yeah, I think Zero Rush making a good point in chat. It saves so much time on Ganon. I think he just didn't know that they were there.
Yeah, if they would have been somewhere else, but yeah, it takes, what, 20 seconds to grab him, leaving Swamp Palace. You know you're going to save that amount of time on Ganon.
Yeah, unfortunately we won't be able to ask him since we won't be doing an interview. Maybe, hopefully, if our Game 2 comms are watching, they can maybe work that into theirs. But Gem's cleared a 7th dungeon, so we're not on a speed gaming network, but we still have a game we like to play right here.
That is true. So, chat, if you want to start getting your guesses in as Gem climbs up Death Mountain for your guesses at the Ganon's Tower Big Key guessing game. Any number 1 through 22 that key can be.
Yep. No leaderboard today, but still gets those guesses in. But yeah, TGH is making really fast work through Turtle Rock here.
Yeah, he is, so...
Gem's still going to be slightly ahead coming out, but it's going to be a very, very close entry into GT, I think.
Yeah, because TGH just got, what, 2 rooms, Trinex fight, and that's about it. Gem's just going to be entering the Dark World now. So I would say a minute and a half.
Yeah, I mean, Gem is leaping down off that rock at 1:18.55. We'll have to see where TGH comes out to the rock at. And also worth noting, TGH with Gold Sword, this will be a slightly faster Trinex fight for him.
Yeah, the main thing is TGH is going to have to make some kind of gamble to gain time, or Gem will have to make mistakes because of not having those silvers.
Yeah. Yeah, TGH needs Gem to make a mistake at this point. Otherwise, he needs something to be able to catch up.
Alright, let's see the big key, though.
So you got a key and some rupees in the first 2 chests. Gem is going to go right. TGH has Trinex down. He'll be coming out of here probably about a minute and a half behind Gem. Alright, what we got on the right side? Rupees, piece of heart, bombs, and bombs. So TGH can save some time if he goes left.
Yep, save a little bit. We'll see what he decides, though, because typically the play is, if you get a key in one of those first two chests, you go right side. But so far, that's been chest 6. So 7 is the torch. We've got some bombs up there. And into Ganon's Tower TGH goes.
Yeah, right is generally... Oh, there's the big key. I think that was 8.
Yep, that would be chest number 8. Gem already has 2 keys, so does not need anything else.
And TGH is going to go left, so he's going to make up a little bit of time, but he still needs a little help to make up a little more.
Yep, it is Gem's race to lose right now, so he's going to have to make some mistakes. TGH, you know, potentially could catch up with some execution on the way up the tower. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing that's worth note, I mean, I think one Ganon fall could still easily swing this race.
Yeah, Ganon fall could make this very close.
TGH has his 2 keys, he has his big key, he's starting his climb up the gauntlets. Yeah, I mean, any mistake from Gem and TGH could easily get right back in.
Actually, I didn't think about that. Do either of the runners know how to hover?
TGH does. I think Gem might too. I thought I saw people talking about that earlier.
Yeah, because if that's the case, TGH, you know, he could just try to skip Troll Dorm 2.
I mean, again, I guess it depends on how you feel you are in relation to your opponent. If you think you're ahead, you probably just take out Moldorm normally. If you think you're behind, then you might go for it. Oh, TGH is going for the safety. It's going to take about 10, 20 seconds out of it. Actually, not even that, 10 seconds maybe.
Yeah, I think he has to because he doesn't have any safeties at all and down to 2.5 hearts.
Yeah, they don't have powder, they don't have potions. There is a lot of risk actually climbing this tower right now. I mean, they've got blue mail, but I mean, essentially with where your health's at, this is essentially an NMG climb for TGH right now.
Yeah, it is.
As a Gem is through those rooms, he's climbing up. Oh, TGH actually has red mail.
Yeah,
So slightly better.
Alright, Gem, couple rooms to go through. Troll Dorm 2, Aga 2, and Ganon himself. TGH just finishing up Landmola's 2.
Alright, here's Gem on Moldorm 2. Ooh, a little close there, but he's got through it. TGH is staying right behind him. He's not making any mistakes. Alright, Gem is to the Aga 2 fight. Only one, I think, on that first phase.
Yeah, it looked like one.
Another one. There's a double. And there we go. Gem is on his way to Ganon. You know, TGH is at Moldorm. And he's going for the hover. Oh, and Moldorm knocks him in.
Troll Dorm will not accept the disrespect.
He's going for it again, it looks like.
Yep, he is going for it. Oh.
Nope.
At this point, he will probably go for a Troll Dorm kill now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Gem is starting his Ganon fight. Gem's gonna get a 2-cycle on phase 1. Here's phase 2. Gem does have to be somewhat careful here. He's got his cape out. He doesn't have safeties. He's at 5 hearts. He could easily take a death too. But he's through the hard part of the fight.
Yes, I think a Ganon Hug would actually kill him, even with blue mails. I think it does 6 hearts of damage worth.
He's just got to play it safe. Triple from TGH on his side. Gem's in the final phase.
Gem answering that he does indeed have his silver arrows.
And he's got it.
Very quick phase 4 there.
And Gem will win race 1 with an official Speed Racing TV time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 19 seconds. TGH is falling into his Ganon fight now. Gonna take that on.
So everybody get your GGs in chat for Gem. We'll watch TGH finish Ganon off.
Yep, and then we will be coming, as soon as TGH is done, we'll be finishing up pretty quick here as these racers are getting ready for race 2 right away. So TGH already onto the final phase. He's got to do Silverless phase 4, but should be fine.
I'm going to be 12 spins here.
I took a look through their chat just to kind of see what they were talking about afterwards. It sounds like the big difference, I mean, even for what we saw, the big difference between these two might have been TGH having to double dip Total Rock while Gem was able to just do it in one dip. I mean, even though it didn't cost TGH much time, it looks like that's probably what the big difference was in this race.
Yeah, I mean, can't really tell because of how it ended up being, but that's really what it looks like compared to, you know, what we saw when TGH did come back with his items, his crystals at the time. That really had to be the thing, and maybe he checked a couple more locations like Mire, things like that, but down goes Ganon for TGH.
And we'll get his official time here in just a second. Yep, and TGH has finished the official time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, 24 seconds, so about 2 minutes, 5 seconds behind Gem. Yeah, as we said, unfortunately, because we have race 2 coming up right now, we're not going to be able to interview these guys. They are already setting up for race 2. That's going to be coming up here in 25 minutes on the Link to the Past Randomizer, or ALTTP Randomizer 1. So we are going to close up our shop here. We will have iBasley and Justin Z joining you guys for the call for race 2. Actually, they just started their race, so it's only going to be 15 minutes from now.
Yep, and I guess we'll do our quick shout outs.
Yep. So, sorry, I got to pull up our tracker. So yeah, thanks to Oddwalls for tracking for us today. Thanks to Synac as our restreamer. Yeah, and then thanks for joining me today on Comms here, Starlink.
Yeah, it was a great amount of fun. Can't wait for game 2. But definitely shout out to Oddwalls for tracking for us, especially catching up as quick as he did when TGH's stream came back up. And thanks to Synac for doing the restream for us and getting everything working again through the difficulties we ended up having.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, sign off here. Everyone, thanks for watching today. Starlink, take us out.
Yep, I hope everybody has a good day. Game 2's on your way. Like JP said, I, Basley, and Justin Z will be doing the call for you in about 14 minutes, so stay tuned.